Very good afternoon,
We are
everyone.
live.
Myself, Dr. Umarani, Associate Professor of Department of Pharmaceutics and Coordinator of the webinar. Welcome you all to the second session of second day webinar on Women Empowerment and Entrepreneurship Development. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Vaya Subbarao Garu to chair today's session. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Uma Madam. Good afternoon and welcome to you all. It is a great privilege to have this opportunity in introducing today's speaker and resource person, Ms. Lalita Madhuri, who is a registered pharmacist from India and an entrepreneur from United Kingdom of Mrs. Replate, which is a digital health domain. Ms. Lalita Madhuri completed her post-graduation in pharmacy from Usmania University, Hyderabad, and later worked for 2 years in analytical chemistry as research scientist. Moving to United Kingdom in 2007, from 2009, she involved in regulatory affairs in the domains of pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and health discipline, associating with small and big consultancies and pharmaceutical companies. As head, Ms. Lalita Madhuri led several projects right from early clinical trials to market authorizations for European Union, United States, and emerging markets. As a strategic support, Ms. Lalita Madhuri has completed 2 year MBA program from Jet Business School, Cambridge University, United Kingdom, and strengthened her skills towards finance, marketing, operations, innovations, and organization behavior, which has strengthened her entrepreneurship. Now I invite Ms. Lalita Madhuri to address the delegates with her experiences and emerging trends. Over to you, madam.
Thanks, Subbarao Garu. It's a great introduction about me. And thanks one and all for the faculty and the participants who gave me the opportunity to experiences, both the personal and the professional life. And I hope today's presentation will be some sort of enlightenment to you, to inculcate the mindset of entrepreneurship. And also as a woman, we have a lot to give back to the society as well. So the learning and the stories I'll be discussing about the entrepreneurship, I hope they'll be very much helpful for you guys to understand the mindset and come up with and become an empowered woman. So with this, I would like to start my presentation. Okay. So yeah, this first slide, get it in the full screen. Yeah. So so today I'm going to discuss about the company we have established in the US called Replete. So I will be discussing about the journey, the hurdles we have faced, and what the learnings will be. And I hope these learnings will be definitely useful for you guys to set up the company as well. So starting with the entrepreneurship development. So basically, when it comes to the entrepreneurship development, people have different. So I have some examples here to explain what the different dimensions or different mindsets of entrepreneurship development is. So one mindset is creating the opportunities in the marketplace to product differentiation and arranging the resources to exploit the opportunities for the long-term gains. So what I meant is, as an example, I've taken Apple as a company here. So what they do is they create the need in the market. So they are more like doing lot of innovation and research on the product designs, on the functionalities, and try to incorporate very new features, which makes the customers very attractive to buy their products. So even though it is not a necessity, they create that need in the customers. They make the market more attractive with their designs. So they have lots of expertise when it comes to software, hardware, and services. So they have the areas of expertise in these three domains. When compared with Silicon Valley, Apple has more expertise in these areas. So this is where what they do is they try to integrate all the expertise, and every time they come up with new ideas, new products, and make these products very attractive to them. And this is where customers, they get attracted. And I see most of the houses, they only buy Apple products. So it's not a necessity, but what they see is they make it more attractive, and the customers, they become attractive to these products. So one mindset of entrepreneurs, creating that need. Even though there is no need, they create the need by providing the aesthetic appearance of the products. So this mindset of entrepreneurship development. The other mindset is creating and fostering mindset by producing different processes. So as an example, I have put here our former president, APJ Abdul Kalam, so who was a renowned person and everyone as a missile man. So what he did, he didn't set up any companies or he didn't set up any enterprises. What he has that mindset, he has the mindset in his mind, and he wants to spread that mindset in the young minds or in the young people. So what did he do is he tried to build a platform between the industries and the academics. Say for example, many IITs and NITs. So they have a platform to communicate or to get educated on the development side from the research organizations like CSIR, ICMR, ICAR, and R&D labs. So this is one sort of entrepreneurial mindset. So even though they don't set up their own enterprises, they try to foster that type of environment wherever they go. Even we as a regulatory professionals, even though we are working in different companies, we can also create this type of mindset, come up with new ideas, see where the opportunity is. So this is one mindset. So one mindset is creating the need. The other mindset is you don't have to necessarily have your own enterprise. It is all in your mind. And what you can do is you can spread this idea into different people, and you can form a build team as well. And I think another initiative I came across very recently is Atal Innovation Mission, which is also established by our former president as well, APJ Abdul Kalam Garu. So this is one type of mindset. The other mindset is you, as I said, understanding the unmet need, which leads. So one of the example I have cited here is on the clinical trials. And I think as a pharmacist, we know how clinical trials play a vital role in development. So digital transformation is making the life easier and clinical trials faster. So when it comes to the patient to the sites, this is where the challenge is. So with the digitalization, the recruitment is becoming faster. So clinical trials are shorter time, and it's also cost effective. And patients, they don't have to come to the sites very often. They can do everything on their phone. Okay, so this reduces the cost of the facilities, the setup. Okay, so that's one type of mindset or one type of innovation. So I have discussed here three different examples, three different mindsets. One is creating the need. For example, as an example is Apple. The other one is fostering that mindset in your team or the employees or in your surroundings, or building that ecosystem around you is one type of mindset. The mindset is understanding where the need is, and that need you have to convert into the opportunity. So that's the example of the clinical trials. And another example I would also like to discuss, which I came across very recently, is on the NGO's mindset. On money, which brings you happiness, right? There are other things. You do everything with your heart and mind, not just money. And that gives you happiness as well. So one mindset I want to discuss about it is the NGO's mindset. So an example, it's an Embrace. Embrace is basically, it's a warmer. It's a warmer to keep the infants warm. So I've put an image here. So this is built by one of the NGOs, non-profitable organizations, and it is more targeted to the rural areas. So let me discuss a short story about this type of mindset. So it's a story about an infant called Aisha, who was born 1.1 kg in a rural area. So prior to having this baby, the parents, they lost two babies. It's because they didn't have a medical facilities and they're all malnutrition. So they have that burn to save the third child. So the third child, unfortunately, she was born very low weight, and they couldn't put her in the ICU for a long time because of the cost. It's not cost effective. So what they did is an NGO called Embrace. They came up with a new innovation to wrap the babies and maintain that temperature. So instead of putting the babies in the incubator, what usually that's the practice they do in in the bigger hospitals. In rural areas, because of the lack of this facility, they have introduced this type of system. It's called Embrace. Go to the website, you find lots of products on this. But this is one NGO. So I'm just trying to emphasize what sort of mindset people can have when it comes to entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship development. So it's varied. Okay, so some they do for money to generate the revenues, and some they do like as a part of giving back to the society, like NGOs, and then some they see the real need, like as I said, APJ Abdul Kalam Garu, who try to foster this type of mindset in the young minds. So this is a brief description I would like to give you on the development side and what type of mindset people have, and they have different definitions for these type of things. Okay, so the next thing is the definition. What is the actual definition for entrepreneurship? So entrepreneurship. So the concept I have explained in the form of a figure here. So is a person. Entrepreneur is a person. It can be anyone. It can be you, me, or anyone around our society who wants to build that ecosystem. Okay, and who is responsible for creating, understanding the need, and devoting the time, the effort, and also financially, psychologically, and socially. You should be a person. Okay, and obviously the reward is not always monetary. It's a personal satisfaction, it's a gratitude, and it's the independence you have. So that type of mindset you should be having when it comes to entrepreneurship. And also it is a set of process. So once you have that mindset, you create a process around you. So you try to research the market, you try to gather all the resources, you try to understand challenges you'll be facing when you come up with a business idea, and then you first thing start doing it, then you'll get it some. You understand all the challenges, and you also try to understand how to overcome those challenges. So this is the whole processes. And innovation, it can be anything. It can be a product, as I discussed, for example, is an apple. It can also be a service offering. Okay, the classic example I can give you on this is the BPOs in India. So when it comes to service offering, they have different organizations have different ways of doing things, but they come up with innovative ideas. So it's more comes under process optimization and process development. So innovative way of doing the services to the customers. So that's one thing. So this is how I define the entrepreneurship. So next is who entrepreneur. So entrepreneur, it can be, as I said, it can be you, me, or it can be also our surroundings. It can be the people in a ecosystem, or people with that mindset who try to foster the entrepreneurship development in other people. So this is who is an entrepreneur. And basically an entrepreneur, he is the inventor. It can be as I said, it can be the inventor of the product or the service. Come up with the idea. When they come up with the idea, initially you have to do your market research. When you do your market research in your area, you try to identify where the opportunity is, and you try to fill that gap. So you match the idea with the opportunity, and when you try to build that opportunity, so there are set of processes in place you have to go through. Like it's the building the project, building the strategic project, collaborating with the cross-functional people. So it's not like as an entrepreneur, it's not just sufficient to have an idea, right? Right people to work with. So you build your own team, or you build your network of people with whom you can work with. So this is what is was an entrepreneur. So before going to my story of establishing how we established Replete, I would like to give you some more stories, which I feel there are lots of learnings in these type of stories. First one is, I think in India, everyone knows what is Flipkart, right? It's an online platform where they sell goods, right? So basically, Flipkart, they stepped into the e-commerce industry as a player when the industry was at immature stage. So what they did is they have an idea of the Amazon. So it's similar to Amazon. They did the same thing. They started initially the online shopping with the books, and then they started building the portfolio of the products. And it was built by the founders Sachin and Binny Bansal. So they are the alumni of IIT Delhi and ex-employees of the Amazon. So in 2006-7, they risked their career by quitting their jobs to launch Flipkart. So Indians are, so the idea behind this is they copied the idea of the Amazon. Have done the same thing. They have sold the books online initially and tried to build their product portfolio. But what is the driving force there? What is a driving market? They are known for, so Indians basically we are very instinctive in nature. We try to buy. So our buying behavior is instinctive, and this is what gave the way for e-commerce industry in India. So whatever we see, we try to buy it and we want to test it. We are very curious in exploring new things. So this is, in most of the Indians, this is the instinctive nature we have. So we want to buy goods, we want to buy new things, we want to experience them. So this buying nature, this one idea, it changed the whole world, whole market in India. And this is where it started. Okay. So when it comes to the evolution of the idea, so they basically the founders, they want to save the time. Time is very precious. So we can't, I think in nowadays, we can't go to the shop. We don't have that leisure time going to the shop, buying goods. No, I think the basic idea is they want to save people time. And that motivated the founders to start Flipkart, which is similar to the Amazon again. So they initially started with the investment of 4 lakh rupees, and they started as an online bookstore. So with the people in the country, the company started growing big and diversified their products. Like they diversified into electronic goods, apparels, ebooks, and home and lifestyle products. And also, they have introduced the innovative ways of e-commerce shopping. The one is really like in the Flipkart is cash on delivery. I mean, because of I think there are lots of cyber crimes going on around in India, especially when it comes to money transactions through mobiles or through PCs. So cash on delivery offers an alternative way to buy stuff, and that's a trustable source, which I feel that. So whenever I go to India, I really go to India and opt for cash on delivery rather than e-commerce transaction. So I think this is the basic advantage Flipkart has taken, providing cash on delivery. So that enables the customers to build trust on the products. And also, I think so there are option to return goods if you don't like, return the goods in a given time. And that, so there are lots of services Flipkart is providing where they try to build the customers. So trust of the customers is one of the key thing. When for any business, this is the key thing: trust, honesty, and credibility. So these are the 3 key factors to start any enterprise. Okay, and the essential characteristic, one of the essential characteristic entrepreneur should have is these 3 characters. So this is the learning. So why do you think Flipkart is successful today? So basically, it's the quality of the service they provide, the wide range of products, and also their this pre and post sales experience. As I said, and returning of the goods. So these are the some of the strategies Flipkart has adapted to gain the customer. Okay? When it comes to the funding, obviously every enterprise, when you set up an enterprise, the main challenge everyone faces is the funding. Funding, you can't burn your own money, right? So you have to find the investors. So the Flipkart, so even they came across this type of challenge in their early career. So what they did is they went for IPO. It's like initial public offering, which is listed on the New York Stock. It was a successful event for them to get the funds for running their business. And prior to that, what they did, they gained the customer credibility. Okay, the trust building is a key factor, as I said. Before you go to any fundraising, this is one of the key factors you have to bear that in your mind. Okay, so that's one thing. And also safeguarding employee interest. Okay, anyone running an organization or an enterprise, or even any college also, if, for example, because we are all college, I like to give that example. So the key thing is not just keeping the customers' interest. Okay, obviously you think about what customers' needs are, what are their interests, but at the same time, with whom you work with, your employees or your subordinates, this is the key factor. Okay, it's a give and take relationship between you and your employees. Okay, and you have the one thing is retain employees in the organization is also a key thing to run a successful organization. So what you have to do, so what Flipkart has done is they created lots of, they gave a free gym, and also they, I think there were others, the team building sessions. So they have every month they used to go out with the employees, with the families, and try to build that team. And also, especially for the women, they created lot of facilities when it comes to the child care. And child care, especially when in the foreign countries, it's not an easy game. So the companies have that empathy, and they have to have that emotional intelligence to create these type of environments, so that employee and employee relationship, employee and employer relationship are kept together. Okay. So yeah, this is the story of the Flipkart, and obviously they also face lots of challenges. Okay, so every time when you set up an enterprise, you have to think about the challenges. So some challenges are anticipated, and you have you have a risk for that, but some challenges are not anticipated. But again, the challenges are inevitable. So be prepared. Your mindset should be prepared for the challenges. Okay. So when it comes to Flipkart story, because it's an online platform, and especially in India, it's what they, as I said, they try to do none of the Amazon. But when in India, initially they had lots of challenges. It's because people didn't trust at the beginning when they started the business, because it's a new idea. And Amazon, obviously it's an US organization, so it's a development. But when it comes to India, online platform at that time, it wasn't that great, really. The idea, so I mean, the market wasn't prepared for these type of ideas, because they have, especially the customers, they used to have lots of perceptions whether the product sold is authentic or not, quality of the product is good or not. Obviously, we Indians are used to these type of things. The way we all, whenever we buy a product, we want to have that feel of the product, right? So this made the Flipkart idea a little, at the beginning it's not that great, but later on it started taking off when Amazon also participated in the market. Okay, so that's one thing. As I said, another challenge is gaining the people trust. So this is at the start of the company, gaining the people trust. Okay, the once you gain the people trust and their credibility, again, you can go on a smooth track. So yeah, these are the challenges, and obviously, Flipkart is still facing that one of the challenges, the rivalry with Amazon. So they are still not able to beat Amazon. The market share of the Amazon is still high compared to Flipkart in India. So this is this short story of the Flipkart, and the key learnings from this is the whole point of me telling the stories is taking the learnings, understanding the challenges. Okay, so some of the learnings what I felt here is I think you have to believe in yourself, and in today's world, I should say, not just in India, it, if you have 80% of criticism, there are 20% of supporters. So always try to surround yourself positive mindset people, the people who can take criticism constructively and take that lessons in daily life and improve yourself. So please believe in yourself. Whatever you're doing great. Okay. So this is one key learning for me, and also it's not just sufficient to have an idea. Yeah, I sit on a bed just having dreaming ideas, doing nothing 24/7, just eating and sleeping. That doesn't work. So if you have an idea, try to discuss your idea with the people who show interest in you first thing, and then try to find answers. Okay. And one more thing I forgot to put here. One of the key learning is, yeah, it's good to have an idea and start at some point. Don't think like, oh, what happens if things go wrong, or what happens if I have these challenges. So I think there's something called over analysis of the paralysis. Okay, don't do that. Okay, if you have an idea, if you think there is an opportunity, and if you can also think you want to give back something to the society, not just money which makes you happy, right? So think about it and take the steps. So these are the key learnings from Flipkart. Another story I have to tell you. So this is about the Farm Easy. It's basically Farm Easy is it's an online medications delivery platform. This was founded by Sheikh and Dhaval Shah. So they are the founders from Mumbai. What they did is they have built the India's delivery platform. So they also they have digitalized the pharmacies in India, and successfully they have, I think they started in 2011. So they founded this company in 2011, and they're really doing good. So if you look at the challenges they are facing, so MedLife is a major key competitor, which takes the major share here, and there are other companies like 1mg, NetNets. So these are the key competitors. I have put an image here. So what made the evolution of the idea, and what made them to come with the idea, and what's the problem they want to solve is, so basically Farm Easy is a company, a healthcare delivery platform, and which is growing very fast now. So it provides a transparent digitized platform, provide the best service to the customers possible. So I think the idea is with the Flipkart, which is an e-commerce, they have taken this idea and they come up with the idea for dispensing the medications, online pharmacies. So they thought, but if they can have an online platform for selling the goods and services, why can't they have something for the medications? So this is of the idea, and with this they came up with the business plan for setting up the online pharmacy service in major cities in Mumbai. Okay, so basically the company uses a mobile app, and there's a technology to get access to the best healthcare products, which are made attractive, and also they give lots of discounts on the medicines, and which are affordable to the rural areas as well. So this is the key business idea which they came, and this is what they want to solve. And when it comes to the challenges they faced is, The e-pharmacies, so unlike the regulations which we have for setting, there are no stringent regulations for the e-pharmacies. Okay, so there are no guidelines or the regulation. Not much actually. It's a field now. So what initially when these people have started this e-pharmacies, it was very difficult to convince the government framework or to bring the regulations for e-pharmacies. So that's one of the challenge these people have faced. The other challenge is they want everyone to upload their prescriptions onto their mobile platforms, but most of the people were reluctant to do that, and these people were only targeting the prescription drugs, not the OTC drugs. So this is the key hurdle they have faced. So there are regulatory issues, again customers trust, as I discussed before, and customers also, the e-pharmacies, I think they were more cautious on the genuinity or the authenticity of the products. Because okay, if there are goods that you buy the goods, try to test the quality of the goods, and if you don't like, you can return it back, as in the Flipkart case. But when it comes to easy, they are medicines. And how can you make sure the medicines you're selling online are genuine or authentic or not? So this is the key challenge they were. Okay, so again, as I said, initially what they did is they tried to build a network of people in their close vicinities, and they have tested this. They have done a pilot study on the e-pharmacies, selling the drugs for free for their close friends, and making sure the customers are happy with the quality, and they're getting the biological effect or the therapeutic effect for the treatments. So only then they started venturing with the other people. So always there's something called sphere of influence. So so you draw a circle as an entrepreneur, and around that you draw another where you try to influence. So you can only influence to a certain extent because you know the people. When you know the people, when you know the network, and when you have a very good network, you can build that trust. So what happens if you cross that barrier? If there is another circle where you can't with your influence, the sphere of influence is very far, right? So that is how you have to slowly edge towards building the network. So this is what the people have done, and this is one of the challenge. So yeah, I've given quite a lot of stories and different mindsets, different challenges, what and how you should be thinking as an entrepreneur. So as I said, entrepreneurship is not just setting up an enterprise. Okay, all about the mindset. You can foster that mindset in the people surrounding you, building a healthy ecosystem. And example, as I said, is our former APJ Abdul Kalam Garu, former president of India. So that is what he has done. The other one is also on the understanding the need, where the need is, and try to bridge the gap. Okay, that's one type of mindset. The other mindset, I said, the Apple business strategy. So whenever they try to create the products, they try to inculcate all the features, all the fancy features, and try to bring the differentiation of the product with the other competitors. And that is where it's not a need, basically. It's basically it's a improving the aestheticity of the product. So they impose certain sort of influence on you guys to buy the product. I can't survive without Apple. So this is how this is the mindset they are creating, right? So it's a different type of mindset. Another one is NGO. NGO is something giving back to the society. So you can also think in that dimension. And obviously, anything you do, there are challenges. There will be challenges, and you can't. Okay, so all you have, it's a mind game, right? Now, okay, this is the learnings from the story. So yeah, you will definitely. There is no doubt. But the more you fail, the more you will learn, and more you will become stronger. Okay? Yes. And next, the customer game. Yeah, when you want to sell your services or when you want to sell your products, it is the customer who takes the upper hand. What you have to do is, whenever you what they want, what is their need, this is how you should think about, okay? And never give up, okay? So these are the key learnings. Well, so coming to my journey, Replete is a company we have established. It's established by myself and my husband, Timaraju, and myself, Lalita Madhuri Timaraju. We both established this company in the US. So yeah, you have given my. So let me just walk through the journey how we have set up this company. So I came to UK in 2000, and then I started working in regulatory affairs. So I want to steer my direction from lab to regulatory affairs. I thought I can. The mindset I had is more on the communication side, understanding the cross-cultural team. So if I was in the lab, I wouldn't have developed the communication skills. I thought, okay, this would be a very good opportunity to understand the market as well, how the drugs are brought to the market. So it's the other side of the stick of the. So I thought to steer my direction into regulatory affairs, and then I have built my portfolio there. So I worked in pharmaceuticals, I worked in medical devices. But in 2014, we both decided to move to US. So as a family, it's just we want to explore the US because US is a bigger market compared to UK. And the other key reason is I really like their open culture. So very open-minded, and they promote they promote growth as well. So this is one of the things we thought of. And after going there, I had some health, and then suddenly, so we have to go through the set of challenges when it comes to the health, but also we faced is getting the clinical records. So I couldn't get my own records when I moved from one practitioner to other practitioner, or one doctor to the other doctor. It was a big hassle, and every time I have to go, I have to call the people, I have to get the clinical records, and it used to take 10 months to get just one clinical record of mine. And we thought, okay, why can't we take this opportunity? So we felt it is a gap which needs, and we both took this opportunity. So me as a regulatory affairs head of, I was heading the regulatory department in Replete. So what I have done is I helped out to get the product registered with the FDA, and so this was registered under new guidelines. Pretty much they are new. It comes under software as a medical device. It's not even a medical device. Basically, there are other new guidelines which are called software as medical device. So it's a standalone software which is registered under medical device, and there are under this medical device there are lots of categories. So there are type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4 depending upon the risk they offer. This device was registered as type 1. So yeah, that is what I have done. So what this platform offers, it's a technology we have which enables the patients and the doctors to communicate with each other, 24/7 access, and it's a free to the patients. Okay, and this is one thing we did. And also patients can download their clinical records 24/7. So they don't have to go to the hassle of getting their clinical records transferred from one GP to other, or paper. Especially in US, they still use a paper. So they have to take the scan of each and every paper and send it to the doctors. And I felt it's ridiculous. It's just such a hassle, right? So yeah, we thought of building a technology where patients can have this access, and also every day the app collects their behavior on day-to-day basis, and it generates the health score. So that score will motivate the people towards healthy lifestyle. So how much what is a food they eat, how much food they eat, and how much they drink, the sleeping habit, everything is tracked in the app. And other feature is this device is integrated with the other medical devices like the BP machines, the cardiac rhythm, ECG, blood sugar. So there are quite a lots of features which are integrated into the medical device, and obviously these type of things need to be registered with the FDA. Okay, so this is a brief description of what we are doing and what we have done. So the challenges I faced is as a regulatory head, getting the approval from the FDA. It wasn't a straightforward. It's not just to submitting the approval. I never had this type of experience really. So they asked for the clinical evaluation of the product. So what we did is we went back to the group of doctors who have done a pilot study on this app, and whatever data we have collected, have to get back to the FDA providing that data. But again, data collection wasn't easy because there are lots of regulatory issues when it comes to data collection, data protection. So we have to go through all these regulatory challenges to get to register the app with the FDA. And that is one challenge we face. The other challenge was the technological issue, because it is integrated with voluminous data, patient data. We didn't have a sufficient technology structure in India. So we have a technology team in India who provided us the support. But the thing is, when it comes to the integration of the information, it is not an easy game. So we had lots of technology issues to build. So that's one thing. The other thing is managing the teams, cross-functional. So I was managing my tech team in India. Even though I'm not a regulatory, I still have to learn bits and bobs of technology as well. Because obviously, to make things done, first thing, you should be trained on it. Not you necessarily are not required to have an insight or deep dive into the subject, but at least you need to have an oversight. So these are the three challenges I discussed with you. So the learnings from this is basically you have to be adaptable to whatever it is. So if you have a zeal to set up something, drive something, you also have to be adaptable to the changes with the what the world is going, where the world is going on. And also as a pharmacist, obviously we are well versed with the technology thing, but obviously if you have to build your own team, if you want to work with the cross-functional teams, so at least you need to have an own. Okay, so yeah, let's discuss about my company in more detail. So this is the problem we are facing. So problem is patient, as I said, patient generating the data. So where the data is coming from? So the patient, they go to the hospitals, they go to the emergencies, they go to this therapies like occupational therapy or behavioral therapy. So wherever they go, so they have a wearable device. And insurance is one thing, you get registered. So all your data is spread across at different points. Okay. And what happens is every organization, they try to communicate with each other to pull our data. But when they try to pull this data, it is not. So the data has to be pulled at different points, from different points. While doing this, it is not easy game to get the whole data, right? There are chances for missing the points. So this is where Replete Technology has pitched in, and they want to become a one point where they can have the data from different sources on one technology, and from there everyone can access it. So this is what we are trying to do. So the major challenge for the data, it is, as I said, it is not scattered everywhere. So these are the different companies. SureScripts is one of the company in the US. So they have a e-pharmacy, e-prescription services, just like Pharmacy. So that is how they operate. And FHIR, it's a format of the data where in most of the hospitals and the clinics they use. So they have a structured format how the data should be pulled out. And also it is not, as I said, it is not standardized. It's not structured. It is all scattered everywhere. Okay. And also some hospitals they still use fax even nowadays. It's not digitalized completely. So this is the major problem again. And only 20% of organizations or the hospitals are digitalized, and majority of them go to this exchange of the data with the other organizations, or they use paper forms. So basically it is the data. One thing, it is scattered everywhere. Okay, so that's the major problem. So that, and that is the reason patients are finding difficulty clinical records in their hands. So the Replete solution, what they are trying to do is they try to pull the data from different sources and create a one platform where they can have the data from different sources in one platform, so that patients can access their own data any time point, or at any time they can access their data. So this is the solution we are providing through our platform. Okay, so how are we doing this? Thing is, we got subscribed with a company called Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is like a they have a very big server or their technology system. So what they do is they pull the data. So they act like an interface, and we pay the subscription for them. And through the Commonwealth or the server, Replete app pulls the data from all the resources. You take any resources, the pharmacies or the hospitals or insurance, any resources, the data is pulled from all the resources through the Commonwealth interface. It connects to the Replete technology. Okay, and one more thing, the Commonwealth doesn't hold any data. It is just an interface. It's like a server. In a lay language, it's like a server, and we pay for it. So Replete technology pays for it. Okay, so what we do is we try to integrate from all the resources in one technology, so that patients can get their data from the technology itself. Okay, and also that's another association which is involved, called TransUnion. The TransUnion, what we do is, so everyone logs on to the technology to get the data. But thing is, how do we authenticate the person? How do we know that trustworthy, or that pulling the credentials, right credentials, or like that? So the thing is, TransUnion is a company which provides this data verification for us. So data verification or data credential acceptance is done by TransUnion. And also we use some data standardized company. We have some regulations in the US, which is called CCDA. TEFCA is one. HIPAA compliance is also on the data protection side. And MACRA is basically, it is a type of a data reporting structure, how the data should be structured, how it should be formatted. So MACRA it's an association in US which sets the standards. So this is the solution we are providing to the patients. So in a nutshell, what we are trying to do is try to get the data. We try to pull the data from all the scattered regions, like the pharmacies or the hospitals or the clinics. So wherever the data is spread over, we get the data from all the resources through the Commonwealth interface. It connects to technology. So everything sits in the app. And once the moment patients or anyone signs into the app, they can access whole of their data. But again, we have to go to the set of procedures, data protection, data collection procedures, and there are regulatory issues. Okay, so Replete Health does. E-learnings from this, obviously, as I said, believe in yourself every time. Okay, don't undermine what you're. Okay, and as I said, 20% will be supporters, 80% will be criticisms. So there is criticism everywhere, but keeps surrounding yourself minded people every time. Okay, right. The other one is, the challenges are inevitable in life. So overcome them with a beautiful smile on your face, right? There are other challenges. I just want to be cautious about the time as well. Yeah, it's a give and take. Any relationship, whether it's a personal or professional relationship, it's a give and take. Okay, and also no task is or big. Okay, so whatever you do, even cleaning, that do with heart, and that brings the quality. Okay, so this is one thing. So there's nothing like dignity of labor. So when we established our company, we have to do everything. We pulled up sleeves for even the admin work I have to do, and the paper or the registering the company. So I have done quite a lot, right? I didn't know anything. I didn't even know how to start a company, how to register a company, nothing. I have learned everything. We have done a market research. We thought, oh, this is the opportunity, let's do it. And we both are not, me and my husband, we both are not from technology background. But despite that, we managed team of technology people very successfully for 5 years now. Okay, so the thing is, try to adapt to the changes and make sure you have oversight of your cross-functional teams or whatever you're doing or whomever you're working with. Okay, and information. Okay, so knowledge, whatever knowledge you have, try to share with other people. And you don't know, I mean, our perception would be different from other perception. So you always learn from people. Whatever other people are saying, be a good listener and be a lifelong learner. Okay, so yeah, these are from my startup. All right. Actually, I would like to create a quiz here, but since it's a webinar, I don't want to go to the whole list of characteristics as an entrepreneur. People I have put here, they're all risk takers in their life. Okay, so be a risk taker. Don't be afraid of taking risks. Okay, even if you lose money, that's still fine. But you will never lose your happiness. You feel like, oh, I have achieved something in my life. Okay, money is not everything. And then perception, as I said, please listen to other people's perception. It's the more you speak, you will lose the details. So be a lifelong learner. You have to be curious, imaginative. The characteristic which not everyone is born with, but there are lots of tools which facilitate this type of creative, imaginative thinking. Okay, I'll share those tools in my latter slides. Be persistent always. Okay, never. As I said, never give up. And whatever you do, be persistent. Set small goals and celebrate the success of whatever small goal you come first in your class. Celebrate it. Okay, set small goals. Instead of setting a very high goal, set up small flags. Try to achieve that and celebrate the success. Okay, so that's very important. Obviously, I don't have to say this. Everyone is hardworking here. I know that. Be confident. Flexibility and adaptability, as I said, change every time. Okay, so you can't just be the same throughout your life. Your life will become bored. So keep changing every time. And be independent, be a continuous learner. So these are the characteristics I have listed. I mean, the list is not exhaustive. There will be loads and loads on, but yeah, because of the space constraint, I felt I believe these are the top characteristics you should be having as an entrepreneur. Yeah, obviously there's a need. There's lots of need for the entrepreneurship development. One thing, as an entrepreneur, you spur the economic growth. So you contribute for the economic growth as well as, and the new products and services created produces a cascading effect. It stimulates the businesses, sectors, and also supports the new venture. So whatever small things you do, it still contributes to the bigger thing. It still contributes to the economic development of the nation, as I said. Okay, so that's one thing. And also, as an entrepreneur, you add a lot of national income. You add to national income, right? So your GDP or GPP, whatever it is, you contribute quite a lot. Okay, that's one thing. And entrepreneurs, they create a social change. Obviously, as I said, as an example I gave you earlier, our former president Abdul Kalam Garu. So he, the person who has this entrepreneurship mind to create a social change. Even he didn't establish his own enterprise, but he created that social change surrounding his people. He thought it is the young minds who can do quite a lot. And that is why he came up with initiatives, right? So this is one thing. So you create, you will be responsible for the social change. And social change is not just, as I said, it's not just in terms of money also, but in terms of establishing the NGOs, something you give back to the society, okay, which gives you lots of happiness. So that's one thing. And the other one is community development. Obviously, when you try to venture something, the people around you, they get inspired and they want to also start something on their own. So this is how the community will be developed. Okay? Yeah, this is the need. Yeah, what is the role of entrepreneurship development? Obviously, it creates lots of employment opportunities is one thing. So unemployment is a major problem which is faced in India. So obviously, when you set up a small scale industries, so what happens is labor intensive, right? When you set up these SSIs, so they generate more employment opportunities rather than large scale industries. So that's one thing. And inspiring others towards entrepreneurship. So the team created by this entrepreneurship, it provides the opportunities for employees, the teammates around. Okay, and that is how you can set up an venture, which it create. So basically, here the thing is the possibility created not only by the employees and also but also by the people around you or the as I said, so yeah, so it's a sort of inspiring. So when you inspire others, even it motivates others to do what you're doing, right? How you spread the thought of innovation or the thought or the mindset of entrepreneurship into other people. So this is what I meant, inspiring others towards entrepreneurship. Yes. So another one is creating a knowledge spillover. So basically, entrepreneurship, it is a mechanism by which the knowledge is spilled over in the firm. And this is where how it gets commercialized. So the new firms, they get the benefit by the and the knowledge gained by the founder in the company. Okay, so that is how. So basically, when you try to establish the firm, obviously there is quite a lot of uncertainty. We don't know quite a lot unless you start something. But as and when you zeal, you try to get the knowledge. Okay, so knowledge is free nowadays to different digital applications. So you try to spread that knowledge to other people as well. So don't keep knowledge with you. That's one thing. And other one is augmenting the number of prices. Obviously, so augmentation basically refers to making a basic comparison to find out the area in which competitors are ahead. Okay. So it is not only entrepreneurship is not just formation of the businesses, but also what happens is you try to compete. So it creates a sort of competition with the prices. Okay, and obviously when you have the competition, you learn a lot. Okay, you try to overcome the challenges. You try to overcome the hurdles. Always come up with the ideas how to overcome the bigger enterprises. So this is what I meant. And obviously providing the data in the firms. So entrepreneurship activity in a particular region often results in the creation of variety of the firms in the country. So this is the role. This is the role of entrepreneurship. So yeah, really like this. So the myths of entrepreneurship. So many of the people that think entrepreneurs are doers, they are not. So basically, entrepreneurship, as I said, it is not just. So you have to have the thinking as well. As I said, so when you come across the experiences, when you come across the challenges, then you understand your thinking process is refined and you find the opportunity. So you should be both. You should be thinkers as well as doers as well. So when you think, when you come up with the idea, don't keep the idea to yourself. Don't dream of the idea. Bring the idea into reality. So it should be both thinkers as well as doers. Okay. And entrepreneurs, they are not born. They are made, not made. No. So this is wrong here. They are more 80% of entrepreneurs, they are made up. Okay. And they are made up because of their circumstance. It could be social, it could be personal, or it could be the environmental issues. So whatever challenges or whatever circumstances they come across, that is how the entrepreneurs are made. It is, I mean, and in India they say like, oh, there are some castes which are meant only for entrepreneurship in India. It's not right. So it's just the mindset. I think it's just the mindset. You should be a doer and thinker, and also you, as I said, you have to keep changing. Mindset should keep changing. Yeah, entrepreneurs are always inventors. Not real. It is not just sufficient to be an inventor, right? As I said, so you have an idea, you came up with idea, you invent something, but if you can't, so say for example, you have an idea to build a product and you already build a product. So if you can't market it, if you can't, if your product can't teach the customers, then what is the use of having a product? It's just a waste, right? So it's not, you're not just inventors, right? So there are other moving pieces, and it's collaborative work. So you have to work in collaboration with people every time. So even though you have an inventor mindset, you have a doer or thinker, the pieces, as I said, you have to work with cross-functional teams like technology, or so team building is a key thing also. So that's one thing. Obviously, because of the time, I don't want to run through all the characteristics, but there are lots of myths here. People think they should be like entrepreneurs should have a money. Not really. If you have, it's a wish and will, and it's a zeal in your mind that drives you. Okay, money is nothing here. And all entrepreneurs, they need a luck. Not really. I don't think so. Obviously, so here there are lots of myths. I will leave this to you. You can read the slides later. But yeah, let's go to the next slide. So what are the functions of the entrepreneur? So basically, as an entrepreneur, risk, you should be a risk taker. So risk is the primary function. Risks, they are not related to, so it could be either a success or a failure in a business, but don't be afraid of taking the risk. Enjoy whatever you are doing. Okay. And obviously innovate, create, or discover. You have to be innovative. You have to be innovative in terms of product or services, or also in terms of the processes. In a regular day-to-day process you do, you also have to be innovative. So it's basically way of dealing life. Okay. So say for let me give you an example. You all are women, and as a woman, I'll give you one example of innovation in your personal life. So say for example, if I have to cook something, if I have to cook some liquid or a curry, say traditional thing we do at home, and also the other things, there are lots of background noises at home. So how do I be innovative in managing these things? Okay. So you have to find smart ways. So say for example, if I have to cook some liquid like rasam or sambar, and this I have to so first thing to do is put the tomato in the microwave. I know in India most of the people don't use microwaves, but what I feel personally, I can minimize the time. So instead of boiling it in the gas, wasting the gas, wasting my time, and also I can't do, it's not multitasking, right? So it's a sequential work. So we have sequence of steps working on. And if we keep doing the sequence of steps, we can't do that. So we have to find a smart way. So what I do is I cook the tomatoes in the microwave, and then so that leaves my gas stove empty. So I can do other stuff as well. So it's more like multitasking, managing smartly, and at the same time getting things done in a right time, right? So trying to be innovative in terms of process. So this is more comes under process innovation. So when there's a process, so say in a process there are 10 steps. How can you bring them to 5 steps in the same time? So you can do 10 steps in 10 minutes. How can you bring all this? You can squeeze the 10 steps into 5 minutes. Okay. So this is the way of managing things. So there are, it's just an example because we are all women and we know what challenges we are facing in day-to-day life. But even in your professional life, try to be very smart. How do you, it's just thinking. We want to reduce time in everything. How can I reduce time? So there are 10 steps. How do I reduce time? How can I bring those 10 steps or reduce the number of steps in a smart way, or reduce the time spent on it, so that you can channelize on to work on other. Okay. The other thing I would say is channelizing your brain as well. So say, for example, you have 10 tasks to do in one day. So the thing is, when you're working on one task at a time, just focus only on, and forget about everything. So all these are called as background noises. So when you shut down the noise, when you channelize your brain, when you focus on one thing, that is where your quality comes in the picture. Okay. So you can deliver whatever you're doing with a good quality. First, switch off your brains with the background noise. Okay. So there are quite a lots of tools on this, on innovation, which falls under different categories, like how to manage your psychological behavior also, and as a woman, how much we go through the stress professionally or in a personal life, but quite a lots of tools. But the thing is, everything what they say is you just focus on one. There are 10 things, focus only on one thing. After finishing one thing, then go to other one. So it's more like channelizing the brains. Okay? So that's the innovation side. Obviously, you have to analyze the opportunity. So wherever the market is, wherever you see there is a need to, and even in you work in the college, so there will be lots of opportunities on the processes you use. So try to come up with some change in the process, or you analyze where the opportunity is and try to refine the process. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. The other one is strategies to venture. Obviously, they as an entrepreneur, you have to come up with a strategic plan. So when I say the strategic plan, there are different elements to the strategies. The first thing is any opportunity you realize. If there's an opportunity, what we do is there are set of frameworks called, one is SWOT, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threat. So this is, you do the SWOT analysis, and then you also do something. So you look at the political environment. So say the government politically is unstable, so that could be hinder your business. That could hinder your business as well. So that's political, economical. There are economical issues like financial side. So if there's an economic recession, so you have to, what can you do best in your business? How can you do best in your business? So economical, then technological. So there are lots of technology, so you can make use of it, and make sure there's a controlled use of technology. Okay, otherwise you will fall into problems. So technology. The legal issues, I discussed lots of regulatory issues, right? The challenges, and the social issues. Social issues, for example, the customers. So what is the social behavior of the customers whom you are targeting? Okay, and what's the market like? So that so when it comes to the strategizing your business plan, or strategies to start the ventures. So there are some set of frameworks you should bear in mind. Analysis, the pestle analysis is one. And also the other strategy is marketing. How do you want to market your product? It's not just sufficient you prepare the product, you have the product in your hand, you're innovative, you're doer, you're thinker, that's fine. But if you can't strategize to put that in the market, it's just waste of your time. Okay, so that's one thing. Then obviously you have to acquire the resources. Yeah, sorry, I missed one. Developing the business plan. So the business plan has lots of elements: marketing element, financial model. What's the you have, and also what is the future of the business? So how do you get revenue generation on the business? And as a SWOT and pestle analysis. So say if there are disruptions going in the world, politically or technologically, how can you handle those disruptions in your business? So quite a lot of elements to put in the business plan. Then acquiring the resources. So resources meant what, as I said, it's not just sufficient for one person to start a business. So if you start a business, obviously you have to work with other people as well. Okay. As I given you an example on technology team. So technology is one thing, and obviously regulatory person, we have a strategy person. So you have to work with different teams. Elements, starting venture, you have to start a venture. So start venture is initially you have to register your company, and then do a research on the market, what is the need, and what are the factors affecting all that stuff. Okay. So there are other things like supervisor control. It is important to have a mechanism in place where you can track the success of the company, success or the failure of the company. So that's I think I have covered everything here. Just moving on to the next slide. So what are the different stages in the entrepreneurial process? So what are the different stages? Is identifying an opportunity, as I said, then establish a vision. This is the second. It is establishing the long-term vision and accordingly plan how to navigate vision. And so you have to develop a roadmap for this. And then you have to set up the objectives. What could be the objectives of the company, and how to what resources are required. So when I say resources, it's again the employees, the budgets, and also the market access, and how to collaboratively work with the other regulatory authorities or whatever. So all this, and persuading others. Obviously, it's a team. As I said, when you set up an enterprise, it is a collaborative effect. It is not just done by one person. Okay. So the art of persuasion is a key thing here. So you have to persuade, you have to influence your people surrounding. Okay, that's the key thing. Gathering resources, as I said, it's again the financial resources and the operating resources. So operation resources, the families, the friends, the finances, investors. How do you get this resources? How can you obtain the resources from the financial side? And operating resources, also it could be a machine. One thing is machinery, raw materials required. That's one thing. The logistics like transportation. So that's one aspect of operating resources. The other one is human resources. Human resources are, as I said, working with cross-functional teams is an example. So like the labor forces, training and development, that's one thing. So there are different types of resources. And again, creating a new venture, product or so once you arrange for the resources, basically what's the next step is creating an establishment of the new venture. So obviously you have to look for the legal issues, the legal formalities, and the marketplace. So the location where you want to set up the enterprise, That's very important. Okay. And the last step is change and adapt with the time. This is a key thing. So whatever the world demands, you have to change accordingly. Okay. So yeah, oh, so this is the last slide. What are the barriers to the entrepreneurship? What could be the barriers? As I discussed, it could be the macroeconomic environment. So this is an example is the political environment. So say if there's a political instability, your business could be affected. So you have to think ways to overcome this type of barrier. Okay. And the other one is legal and regulatory. So I have discussed quite a lot on this in my previous examples. And the next one is an unfair competition. So this is one of the obstacle major companies are facing in India. Okay, so how could you mitigate this type of barrier? Is the government should come up with stringent regulations and controls to curb this hurdle. Okay. Yeah, financial institutions is one thing. Financial obstacles. So basically, if as a startup, you will be depending on lots of financial institutions, but it is as an SSI, as a small scale industry, basically, I think the interest rates are also very less in India when you want to set up your small scale industry. So that's one page over the large scale industry. So yeah, to overcome the financial obstacles, there are quite a lots of initiatives in India. I'm not quite sure. So I've done a marginal research on this, and I feel I have a feeling like when you have a small scale industry, the interest rates are very low. So you can do further research if you want. But in the US, it's a different ball game. So we went through something called crowdfunding to get the finance. That really worked. So we failed that. But then we went through the set of doctors, network of people who funded for our. So and in return, they agreed to do a pilot study on the app, on the technology app. So that's one thing. So tax burden, obviously you will pay low tax. You can. So that's one thing. Yeah, just in attracting the talent, this is a major obstacle because every time there will be employee turnover. So because if it's a startup, what happens is you guys they only stay for 4-5 months, and being a startup, you can't provide all the benefits the bigger companies provide. So we had a very high turnover, staff turnover. So to keep them motivated, that's the biggest challenge we faced. Getting the raw material, I mean, because it's a technology, in our case, it's not a bigger issue. We didn't have to go to the raw material. But the challenge we faced as a technology is having a voluminous data and trying to integrate that data into the app. That's a big challenge because of the technological issues we had. Okay. Expensive to access proprietary. Yes, it is. So every company protects they have their own mechanism of protect information or the technology. So it's not freely available. So obviously it's one of the hurdle you have to face it. Yeah, and also being a small startup, we couldn't afford to have heavy investment in the technology. So we found very smart ways to get the low cost. It's not the low cost technology, but we try to manage getting the whole information using the technology team we have. But we didn't spend much on technology, honestly. So we found some ways there. So that's one of the barrier we came across. So with this, I would like to conclude my presentation. I don't want to overrun the time. So before saying thank you, I have put a YouTube link here, which is a self-discovery by Amira Shah. She is an entrepreneur, She has set her own pathological lab across various cities in India. So when you have time, please go through this link and try to watch her video, which is just 10 minutes, but it's very inspiring. So she across lots of hurdles, and she's a very beautiful lady. She started her career in 20 when she was 20, and she's now 36. Not quite entirely sure, but one of the key learning from her in India, women are seen as an object of beauty. So that is one thing she really mentioned in her session, and the outcome, it's beautiful. It's very beautiful. So when you have time, please do videos, and there are quite a lot of other videos. You can reach out to me whenever you have free. I'm happy to share the knowledge, the information, and the tools I have to motivate you and try to inculcate at least 1% of entrepreneurship mind. And with this, I would really thank you everyone for giving the opportunity. Thanks once again. Hello.
Is it audible, madam?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, Lalita Madhuri, madam. Thank you for your tender, dynamic, and enthusiastic presentation. I believe that the students and then the delegates geared up to your presentation. And then for sharing your roller coaster ride. Now I request the principal madam to ask some questions from her side so that I will further forward for the delegates for their questions.
Sure, definitely.
Dr. Uma madam, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Madhuri.
Hi, madam. Hello, Naru.
So patient. We need more patience.
Need more patience.
See, what sir said, you are more enthusiastic.
Yeah,
I think they might have already inspired by you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Thank
So
you.
well done, Madhuri.
ఏదో మీ అభిమానం మేడం. It is
No. You see, practically, yeah. Everybody will appreciate your talk today.
Thank you so much.
So it is such an elaborate and you explained very clear. Yeah, and with every slide, you are inspiring the students. Very good.
Thank you. I mean, the whole point is I want to inculcate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Even in daily life also you can do. As I said, like as a woman, the challenges we face, everyone knows it personally. Yeah. But I think it's the way how you can find smart in doing things.
Yeah, true.
So that's the thing.
Yeah, good. I think we need one more VC in future, Madhuri. Okay?
Definitely.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Please carry on.
Thank you, madam. Now I request students and delegates to pose their questions, if any. Meanwhile, I will ask some questions, madam, from my side.
Yeah, go ahead.
You told that you are retrieving data from patients, okay, from using servers and all.
Yeah.
So are you able to get all the data of the patient which has been documented computer-based, and any gaps are being seen regarding to the history of the patient?
Yeah, we are still facing this. I mean, we try to manage getting almost we have 200 subscriptions now in the US market. We always receive this problem. What happens is the patients keep changing their address. So when they try to address or
Okay.
any the details which they go through for a credential check, sometimes they fail because they keep moving from other location. So this is one of the major hurdle we are facing. So when they move from one location to other location or one GP to, especially when they do this interstate transfers, so this is where we are still getting the difficulty. So we're not able to pull the whole data. So we still have some mechanism in this technology. They are trying to come up with information screening. So try to what to do channel use more information for searching. So try to use more filters when they do the search. So advanced filters. So this is one of the feature we are trying to incorporate so that we can get the data. I mean, sometimes it's working out. Sometimes it's still not working out. So yeah, we're still doing it.
Madam, any more questions from the audience? Is it in the budding stage or it's well established in foreign countries, madam, regarding to this data retrieval relating to patient history and all?
It's still in budding stage, and it's been like 4 years now. 16, yeah. So it's been 4 years, but already we went to crowdfunding. As I said, we went to crowdfunding. We failed that crowdfunding, but then we went to the group of doctors who tried to adapt our technology to the patients. So now we got almost 200 to 250 subscriptions now. So we are still trying to improve more. There are hurdles.
What I'm asking is, okay. What I'm asking is not relating to your organization. What I was asking is, in a general, okay, the hospital policies or the country policy, especially in the United Kingdom and the USA. So, is there any system of retrieving the data from the government end or from the private end, which is well established, where we can get all the patient data?
There are not so in the US. There are no government bodies as such because everything it's private. So there are companies which do what we are doing, but then again, as I said, they are not able to get the information from all the places. So they are still struggling. So if it's in the US, it's there are some private organizations which are doing, but when it comes to UK, it is the NHS or it is the NHS UK which takes the upper hand. So again, with the NHS, these type of things is not easy. So they have a stringent control on data collection and protection side. Yeah.
But the countries are having full data of the patients.
I wouldn't say it is full fledged. It is not completely established in US. In UK, yes. In UK, it is the only. So it all depends on the pay system. So in UK, it is only single payer system. It is the NHS. It is the so whatever health record, it is held with the government. Okay, so or the patient's access to the clinical records is very easy for them. But when it comes to US market, it's not easy because it's all private, right? So that is where the gap or the need is. And it's not full-fledged. So there are many companies which are doing this type of things, but still they feel because of this data scattered everywhere, they're not able to integrate everything. So they have to use sophisticated systems to do that.
Okay. Can you tell some of your experiences relating to your analytical chemistry when you are working in India?
So I worked for a company called Trident. Trident, it's a clinical research organization. And I've also worked in NATCO research. The M-Pharmacy project is in NATCO, master's project. So over there, I worked in synthesizing the drug, the ulcers, and testing it on the activity for rats. But they have done quite a lot of analytical stuff there, like NMR, mass, and on my molecule. And so that is where I worked. And also I worked in Trident Life Sciences. So I was research scientist there, working on BAB studies, analyzing the drugs in the urine and plasma samples. And even in the UK, I worked for University of Aberdeen in Scotland. So here I worked in the PET department, positive at that time. So it was on the radionuclides, analyzing the radionuclides in the blood samples. So yeah, I didn't mention that, but yeah, thanks for asking. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Thank you for the information, madam. So thank you for all your energetic sharing of your information. And then I hope that the session is fruitful to the students and delegates of the various pharmacy colleges from where we are getting the participation. So with this, I'll conclude the session, madam. So the session is officially closed for the day. And then I thank you, madam, and we will be in touch with you.
Definitely. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And yeah, I hope people got inspired. and maybe in the future, I will definitely form connections with you guys.
Yes.
In India. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Bye.